Hello everyone, this is Darwell20 and welcome to episode 82 of Darwell20's Let's Play series. Where today I want to get some fuel processing going on. So our nuclear waste that we're building up in our reactor is bad, and we want to handle it. So there's two things we can do with nuclear waste. We can turn nuclear waste into plutonium or polonium, and both have useful things. Polonium, in my opinion, more useful than plutonium, but you do you. Plutonium can be used to make plutonium pellets, and those plutonium pellets go towards making the SPS casing, which is where we can get antimatter from, and it can also be used to make reprocessed fissile fragments, which can be oxidized into more fissile fuel. So if you're having trouble keeping up with your uranium demands, you might go this route to like supplement your uranium needs, right? So you get more fuel, basically. It's a net loss overall, so it's not like you're gonna all of a sudden, have tons and tons of, excess fuel, but it's better than, only relying on uranium. However, if you have more than enough uranium, which I don't think I do yet, but my goal is to definitely have a lot, the other thing you can do with this stuff is put it in a solar neutron reactor and get polonium. So polonium is nifty stuff. First off, it can be in an SPS casing, it can be turned from polonium into antimatter at a rate of 1,000 to 1. So 1,000 millibuckets of polonium gets you 1 millibucket of antimatter. And then that antimatter can be used for a bunch of cool stuff. In addition, the polonium pellets themselves can be used for some neat upgrades for the quantum stuff, the QIO drive for Mechanism, the SPS casing, all kinds of cool things. So Mechanism has its own like modular power suit kind of thing. And you can get some really cool endgame upgrades by using polonium. And we'll definitely be checking those out, believe it or not. Like, that's going to happen in this series. It's been a while since I've looked at the mecha suit body armor. I think you need polonium in order to craft the armor itself, right? You get a netherite helmet or a netherite armor chest piece, right? And then you need some polonium pellets to make the mecha suit body armor, which is pretty cool stuff. So we should check that out. And I think I should really consider myself, or consider making the QIO drive, and because I've really never looked at that. I don't think I've never really given that a big look at. I've peeked at it a little bit here and there, but nothing crazy. QIO drives are like kind of AE, but not. I don't remember them being quite that not nearly as advanced as AE, right? Like it's not an applied energistic system, but it's kind of ish, maybe, sort of close. Either way, polonium used for all kinds of good stuff, including making antimatter, which can also be used for some cool stuff. You can like generate wither skeleton skulls with it. You can generate hearts of the sea. You can generate all kinds of good stuff using your antimatter. So we'll definitely find some uses for it as we go through and play around. Cool. You can make dragon eggs with antimatter. That's kind of cool, right? You can also make knowledge. Anyway, getting ahead of ourselves. In order to make that solar neutron activator, we need HDPE sheets, which need HDPE pellets, which need substrates, which luckily we're making substrates over here in our system. And if we combine substrates with liquid ethylene and oxygen, we will get HDPE pellets. And 4 of those will make a rod, or I can put 3 of them into an enrichment chamber to get a sheet, which is what I need specifically for a bunch of stuff, but also specifically right now, the solar neutron reactor. So here's what I'm thinking, right? If we got, let's see, an enrichment chamber, and we got ourselves upgrades. How am I for upgrades? Actually, I think I might have enough. And ultimate, I don't know if we're on ultimate tier over here, but we'll find out. Ultimate universal cable. We're probably not. We're on basic universal. Can I connect those two to each other? I always forget. Guess we're going to find out. Yes, you can. Sweet. He'll probably be bottlenecked on his transfer speed, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is pop down a pressurized reaction chamber. Okay, and that should start filling up with oxygen nicely, which is cool. And then I want, you're making liquid ethylene, right? So if I checked your side config for fluids, you're outputting on the top, and then to the right is a tank, and the front is this guy. So that means the left is going to be this side. So if I did that and got a pipe from Mechanism, and then I sided you for fluids, you're just inputting on all sides because that's all you can do with fluids. Now you're getting that. Cool. Now in terms of items, I would like to side config auto eject on to the right, I think. Yeah, that sounds cool. And let's get an enrichment chamber sitting here, and I'd like you guys to both be boosted and ready to rock. And then I'd like you to basically do this. If I put a pattern provider, and then a logistics pipe, and we side configured you to output items out the top. Okay, and we side configured you to input items on the top. Boom. And boom. That should be all she wrote. And then I just need to channels you, which hopefully we've got enough channels, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. That should be cool. I'm relatively sure we're gonna have more than enough channels here. Yeah, we're at 6. We're using 6 in total, so I think we'll be fine for now. We need to split more, we will. Alright, so what should happen now is you should be a pattern provider. Why do you have water in you? Why are you getting water? Oh yeah, I don't want you to do that. Where's my wrenchy wrench? Yeah, I forgot you can do fluids now. It's funny. So up here, I'm going to make a pattern that says in order to get HDPE sheets, okay, here's what I'm going to do. You ready? I'm not going to do 3 HDP pellets, but I'm going to do substrates times 3. Okay? So now if we come down here, I'm tricking the AE system a little bit into thinking you just put 3 substrates into this machine, and then they'll immediately turn into 3 HDPE pellets. There's no output, so that's fine. And then they're pushed into this machine, which are then converted into sheets, and then they're pushed up and returned. Cool? So if I just did like 10 of these, please, you should be dumping them in there, you're pushing them in there, you're going up, and then you're satisfied, huh? How cool is that? Not too shabby. Pretty tricky. Pretty clever, I thought. I thought that was a neat way to augment the system and just add HDPE crafting. So now I can make my solar neutron activator. Easy peasy enough. Cool. Looks good to me. Okay. So now let's pop out to our reactor area. Let's sleep just because, even though like there shouldn't be too many mobs here, every now and then one wanders over. And when I'm messing with nuclear waste, I want to be extra careful. I want to be like super extra careful. So nuclear waste, very dangerous, right? I'm gonna warn you guys, be careful. Okay. So let's get some pressurized tubes. Okay, I'm gonna get some basic pressurized tubes. I like to use basic pressurized tubes for nuclear waste for 2 reasons. 1, nuclear waste isn't produced that quickly, so you don't need ultimate tubes. 2, if you start backstuffing on nuclear waste, it takes a while to clear out ultimate tubes if you decide you want to move them, which you might. So keep that in mind, okay? So I'm going to start by, like, literally running this underground a little bit. I always like to do a little bit of underground running. And what I should do, realistically, is get my laser, wherever he is. Where are you at, mining laser? There you are. That's right, I was mining manually earlier, wasn't I? Cool, that should be fine. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to want... Let's see, where's my chunk boundary? I can do that within the same chunk, I think. So 2 things we want to make, right? We want to make this guy to make polonium, right? And then that polonium will combine with any kind of water and fluorite dust to make polonium pellets in a pressurized reaction chamber. So I need 2 pressurized reaction chambers, right? 1... We don't want to forget about this, okay? And 2. That should be cool. Okay? So effectively what we want is a solar neutron activator. Why do I feel like I always put that on the right? I don't think it matters at all, but I'll do it. And then the isotropic centrifuge, right? You're going to want to accept nuclear waste, and it's just going to convert directly. I usually have you spitting out the front. So in terms of gases, right, I would like you to input on the bottom and output out the front with eject on. And you, I'd like to do the same exact thing. I'd like you to input on the bottom and output out the front with eject on. Okay. Alternatively, I could input on the back. Why don't I want to do that? That's a good question. Input on back. Input on back. I could just do that, right? And always, always, always plan out this build ahead of time. Okay. Trust me that it's just going to be a better idea for you to plan this out ahead of time, because if there's nuclear waste in your pipes and you decide you need to change something, breaking the pipe with waste in it will cause radiation in your chunk. So don't do that. Got it? Okay. Now you do need power. You are solar, so you don't need power, but you do need it to be daytime. Not a big deal. Let's also get some upgrades here. Let's get 32 of you, 32 of you, and maybe, I don't think we need any of these, but I'll get them just to be safe. Cool. All right, so now pressurized reaction chamber here and here. And your job will be, side config for gases, will be input on the back, output. You're not going to be outputting gas, so I'm not worried about that. And then your side config for gases will also be input on the back, so that's cool, right? Because when you're making... Actually, yes, you do output a gas. You output spent nuclear waste. You might want to output on the bottom, or should I put it... I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. Let me figure that out in a sec. So two things, right? You're going to need power. I'm thinking power might go on the bottom for everybody. That seem like a good idea? So ultimate universal cable. I'm probably going to want more of you. There you go. Cool. Okay, so you'll get power out the bottom. Let's have you doing spent nuclear waste. Can go out the middle like that. And then you can run down like this. And that's where the spent nuclear waste is going to go. Now, spent nuclear waste will go into radioactive waste barrels and decay over time. You want to just put down a whole bunch of these, so we'll get to that in a minute. But let me finish building this out first, right? So you're going to get the stuff, you're going to convert it, then you're going to get that plus water. So both of these guys need water, and both of them need fluoride dust. So since we have a need for both a fluid and an item going into these machines somewhere, I'm going to make sure that your fluids go in the top and your items go in the top. Okay? And same here. Items in the top, fluids on the top, and guess which mod we're going to use for that? Oh, which mod can do both items and fluids, Direwolf? Oh, that's right, Laser IO, that mod you made that everybody says you overuse a little bit, but you still like using because you're you and you do what you do. Yeah, that one. Okay, so let's get a tank, ender tank, right? Now, did I make you blue and you have water in you? Is that what I did? I don't even know. Do I have a blue ender tank with water all over the place? No, you don't have anything in you. Do I not? So I could just do a sink, right? I guess I could do a sink. Cool. Okay, so that's going to be that. And then an ender chest, that's going to be blue. And let's do it this way. You ready? So the blue ender chest has fluoride in it already. Yes? So what we could have here is a little contraption that'll turn kind kind of want to keep it within the chunk. So yeah, we can put it like over here, maybe? Yeah, that sounds cool. Let's have the ender chest sit here, right? And you've got fluorite, and we need crushed fluorite, right? To turn polonium into there. Crushed fluorite is made by a mechanism in a crusher. Okay? So crusher just needs lava times 2, and that should be cool. Okay? So then you're going to have, let's have you, you're going to sit here, and then you're going to sit here, and that should be cool. I think that works, right? So you, and you. Those will be my laser nodes. Okay, so you're going to, on the down, where's my dude? There you are. On the down, you're going to extract on, let's make it like light gray, channel 8, and that's going to be the fluorite. Okay. And should I filter what you're extracting here? I guess so, because you're only going to do items, right? So fluorite is what you're allowed to extract, right? That should be a quickish craft. Thank you. Okay. And then on the down, you're going to insert on channel 8. Okay. Feel like we're going to need more of these in a sec. Okay. You're also going to need power over here, so I might as well... Realistically, you're the only machine that needs power. What I could do is just put the crusher here. Yeah, let's do that. And then I just have to do this. Okay, so you're going to be there, Mr. Crusher. On the down, you're going to get that. Okay, and then let's just move this over, because why not? Down. Perfect. Okay. So even they don't have to be next to each other, right? And then you down will extract on blue for water. Okay. So then you guys on down will insert on blue, and you'll insert on blue. So that'll fill you both up with water. Okay. Now you, Mr. Crusher, on the top here for the side config should be purple, which is input and output can be accessed. Okay, so you're going to both input that, but then you're going to export on the down. I want you to export. How about channel 7? The dark gray is going to be fluorite. Okay, and we'll do 8 items at a time, and round robin doesn't sound like a terrible idea to me. And then we're going to upgrade. I like that these upgrades stack now. That's pretty cool. Boom, 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 boom. Can the solar dude upgrade? I don't think he does, right? Solar dude doesn't, but this guy does. That looks cool. I like that design. Is there anything I'm missing here? I don't think so. Just need to connect all the lasers, right? So you guys connect, which means you start operating. And then you guys connect, which means you start getting water. And so do you. Should I round robin this guy too? On the down? Maybe. That way he'll just take turns keeping you guys full. Cool. And then flux point. Cool. So now you're running, you're getting fluorite dust. On the down, you're going to insert on gray, channel 7. So you should start getting fluorite dust. And then you on the down should insert on channel 7. You'll also start getting fluorite dust. Cool. I like that. Excellent. Okay, so now you guys both got your fluorite dust. Let's sleep through the night, because remember, the solar dude only works during the day. And I know a lot of you guys have seen this before. That said, remember this series is definitely intended for people who maybe have never used any of these mods before, so while I acknowledge you're definitely, you know, seeing content you've seen before, like, keep in mind some people may not know how any of this works, so hopefully this tutorialization of it helps. So that looks cool to me. Okay, good. So now you're doing that, you're doing that, you're doing that. I might tier upgrade you. I think I probably should. And I'll get, like, to the advanced tier of it. Just to, you know, maybe not advanced. I think you should be enough, right? Split that. Do the thing. That cool? And you've got enough fluorite? Yes. And then on the down, you're doing this once a second. You're doing 1. Let's make it 8 so that you definitely transfer more than... Yeah, that's better. Cool. And then you guys will definitely keep the fluorite dust steady. Sweet. All right, let's get some radioactive waste barrels. I like to have like a stackish, which is very expensive, by the way. I wonder if I have enough resources. Apparently I do, so yay for that. So that won't take too long. You know, what I could do is bury them inside this chunk. That wouldn't be a terrible idea. So let's get, let's do this. Let's destruction gadget. And we're going to want to go left 4, right 4, up 4, down 4. Okay. And I'm going to, like... maybe 1 or 2 blocks lower, and that should be sufficient. Is that cool? I think that's cool. And that, my friends, is where we're going to put our radioactive waste barrels once all the enriched iron gets made and everything. So that's the last piece of this puzzle. So let's go ahead and connect this guy up and see what happens. So you're going to become output waste. Okay. Once I connect this tube, he's going to load balance between the isotropic centrifuge and the solar neutron reactor. And we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens, okay? Basic, pressurized, tube, go. All right, so now you're making plutonium, you're making polonium. You've turned your polonium with fluorite dust into polonium pellets. You've turned your plutonium with fluorite dust into plutonium pellets, okay? You might need a little bit of a speed upgrade on the down. So let's boop, boop. Okay, but otherwise we're cool. Now, the only other thing we need to do is handle item outputs. So how about here on the top, you're going to actually be purple. And you here on the top will actually be purple. Because we're going to use laser I/O to extract the plutonium and polonium. Okay. Now, the only other thing I usually do is make it so that one of these requires a normal signal and the other requires an inverted signal. So that I can throw a lever between the two of them, and that lever now toggles between which one's activated. Okay, so watch what happens when I turn on my reactor for a moment. Okay, all my nuclear waste is going in. It's building up here, but it's not converting. It's coming in here, and it is converting. Okay, so eventually this will back stuff on nuclear waste, and all my waste will go towards making polonium. Okay, now we're definitely building up spent nuclear waste, which is a bad thing, which we'll handle in a moment. Okay, but if I toggle this lever now, right? What'll happen is the opposite. And now this guy will start building up with back stuffing, and this guy will burn through all his waste and make plutonium for me. How cool is that? Okay. Pretty neat, right? So now we have a way to control which is doing which. Okay. Now you've got spent nuclear waste inside you. Spent nuclear waste is bad. The best way to get rid of it is time. Radioactive waste barrels will decay at a rate of 1 millibucket per 20 ticks. So every second, 1 second, you'll lose 1 millibucket of radioactive waste. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up in this hole here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you want to, you can totally building gadget this. So I could do this and just say, how about surface mode? and turn off fuzzy for a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why do I feel like that didn't go the way it was supposed to? We missed a couple. Doesn't matter. Cool. That's pretty neat, right? All right. So now with that good to go, we can start connecting up all of our basic pressurized tubes, which, as you can probably guess, we're going to need like a stack of, right? Just give me like 70-ish. That should be good. Because we're going to need at least a full stack of tubes purely for putting this all together, right? To sit on top of each one of these guys. So we'll start with 64 and see if that's going to be enough. I feel like it probably will be, because I think we're producing 50... Well, I don't know. We'll see. We could math it out in a second. There you go. Is that cool? I like it. All right, so now we're going to... Is that correct? No, I think it's back one more. This. Okay. Now I'm going to side config the gases. I would like you to actually output to the left. And that should dump all your nuclear waste into the barrels. And if you right-click the barrels, I thought it would tell you how much was in them. But it doesn't anymore? Well, that's not good. It used to be that it would do that. Did you work? I mean, it clearly went somewhere. That's not good. Your side config is such that you're outputting to the right for gases, right? Yes, good. So both of these are outputting their gases here now, which is cool. I am super concerned that I can't see how much radioactive waste is inside the barrels. That used to be a thing. You could right-click the barrels and it would tell you. Eep. All right, let me go Google what's up with that. Found it. Shift right-click with an empty hand, and then you can see. So you'll notice all the barrels have about the same amount in them. So the good news is with pressurized tubes, they'll load balance and evenly distribute all the gas. So what that means is, like, as we're producing nuclear waste, it's going to put them in all the barrels, and each barrel will be decaying at a rate of 1 millibucket every second. So you can see every second we're losing a millibucket, okay? And eventually it'll void out. So the goal here is to have enough radioactive waste barrels to handle the rate at which your reactor produces nuclear waste. So if I were to activate this dude real quick, okay, he's producing nuclear waste. I'd like you to focus on polonium right now, not plutonium, so that's cool, right? Now, we have to kind of wait until this thing backstuffs to get an accurate representation, because right now, he's only producing half as much polonium, but once this thing backstuffs on polonium, all the polonium goes in here, or all the waste goes in here, and this is running at full speed now, okay? So now the trick that you want to do to see if this is working is just check any one of these barrels and see if there's a net loss over time of waste. So see how it's going down, but then it spiked up, okay? And it's going to go down, and then it's going to spike up again. Okay, so the fact that we went from, we hit 180, and then we hit 184, tells me we probably don't have enough, right? So if we see a number higher than 184, we see 190. So we can see, like, over time, the numbers are slowly going up, right? Yeah, like, it's dropping, and then it spikes up, and it's going to be higher, right? It's like 195 this time. So ever so slightly, not enough radioactive waste barrels. So I might want, like, a second stack of them. That might be a thing we do. Just keep in mind the whole chunk loading mechanic, right? So let's get radioactive waste barrels. We'll get 64 more. Let's turn off our reactor for a minute. Okay? Because what will eventually happen, and it'll take a really long time, but it will eventually happen, is the radioactive waste barrels will all back stuff, then the pressurized tubes will all back stuff, then this will back stuff with spent nuclear waste, and then this thing will back stuff, and then this thing will back stuff, and then we're going to go boom. And boom is bad. Don't go boom. Okay? Booms can be fun, but not radioactive booms. But that's why I built this far away from my base, so that if I accidentally do blow something up, you know, we'll manage. Okay? By the way, between episodes, I totally added 2 more chemical oxidizers, and we are much better now. It's going great, actually. How are we for uranium? Are we cool? We're getting there. Where's all this uranium coming from? Is he still processing in my, you know what, he might be. I bet just like a ton of uranium was sent in here and it's like still trying to process. 100%, that's exactly what's happening. Hilarious. How much? Wow, lots of uranium. Cool. Alright. And you guys are actually not choking on power, which is good. Yeah, everything's working pretty well. Probably because, in fairness, I was running that reactor for a minute. Now, my ultimate energy cube here is in no way capable of storing all the power I can produce, right? He can only accept like 100,000 RF a tick, and we're producing 10 times that much. I think 11 times that much, technically. So, what we're going to do... So let's see, I might want to... Let's spread this out in a smart way here. One, 2, 3, 4. Did I break something already? There you go, right? And then what I could do, let's do... this many? That might fit my radioactive waste barrels, right? And then we'll just throw more pressurized tubes, which, by the way, I need more pressurized tubes. We'll just hit 100. It's fine. It'll be fine. Right, and then you guys surface mode again. Oh, that's right. I do have this linked up, so it should wind up pulling from there. 1, 2, 3. That's cool. How much more radioactive waste barrels do you have to go? Just a few. I just want to make sure they're all within the same chunk because it's loaded and all. I could use 2 more radioactive waste barrels, and that would give me an even number. That should be fine. Oh, wait. 4 more? Cool. All right. So let's wrap up here. We'll come back next time. I'm just gonna put my tubes all on top there, and then we should be good in terms of waste barrel, right? So evenly distributing all this into this many waste barrels should be more than sufficient to handle all the waste that we're producing now, and possibly more waste in the future. That said, if you make a bigger reactor that's running hotter and producing more waste per tick, you're going to need more radioactive waste barrels to deal with that. Okay, for now, Dial20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Let's come back next time. So we've got waste processing going. Next up, we need to store all this power that we're producing and be able to transfer it, right? So like right now, that little cube that holds 100 million RF, not nearly sufficient for me, especially because I'm producing like 1 million RF per tick. So let's get a bigger battery, and then that'll be fun. For now, Dial20 sign off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.